So now we're gonna get into my actual planning for my goals. The first part of it I actually do in the power sheet. So I'm gonna start with the personal planning first, and then we will slide into the business plans next. Comment down below and share with us what is one thing that you are looking forward to this summer. What are you looking forward to for Q3? Whether business or personal or whatever it may be, share so that we can all be excited with you, because that's always really fun, whether it's a trip or if it's a big birthday or even if it's just any birthday, honestly, you know, like anything you might be looking forward to, launching something, moving, what are you looking forward to? I would love to be able to get excited with you as well. All right, so this is gonna be the personal goal planning part of this video. As I mentioned, I love using the power sheets. This has been my favorite tool to use for, really the last maybe like 7 or 8 years. I really like it a lot, and it just has some really good tools in here. More recently, y'all, they've actually done some really cool where they combine their daily planner along with the power sheets. So I'm actually going to show you that really quickly. So this is what they have, and I'm showing you this because if you are someone that has always wanted to try the power sheets, but maybe you were looking for a little bit more, you were wanting to be able to kind of use it just regularly throughout the time and not just each month, which is kind of how the traditional ones are set up. This is the daily goal planner, and they're calling it Fresh Start, but what I love is that they've incorporated all of the same work in this smaller version in this planner. So basically you have all of the same stuff. You know, you go through all of the power sheet essentials, the prep work, and then you do it for the quarter. So I love it because this is a quarterly video, so that's why I wanted to just mention it in case you are wanting to do the power sheets, be like, oh, but that's for a whole year. Like, they actually have this for you guys, and it's really cool, where you can just plan this out and do all the prep work for every 90 days. So really giving yourself a refresh. You have the cultivated life evaluation thing right here that I mentioned a little while ago in the video. And then you just have just different things to go through. So how to rewrite your negative talk and your self-talk. How to rewrite your negative talk and what ways can you reframe it with positive talk. They have a place for you to plan out your goals, especially based off of the way that you rated certain areas. And then you have just different things like, you know, naming what matters, just all of this stuff. And so what it does is it gets your mind working on like, okay, what do I actually want to focus on? So then you have a place to plan out each goal and break them down. And so this same process is in these bigger power sheets, but they do it for the entire year. Whereas this is cool because it's just for the quarter. So I think that's kind of nice. So you really get this full thing for a quarter versus kind of these mini refreshes that are in here. So if you're looking for just a bit more, I think this might be something to check out. And then after that, you get into, you know, what are naming your goals for the season, and you get right into it. So you have a place to plan out your month. It's undated as well, which is nice. And then you get right into that monthly part that you have in the power sheet. So they have the tending list. They have the prepare well. So you can write down all of the things for the month. And then just some places to plan extra stuff, and then you get into your weekly refresh. So this is very similar to if you've seen the daily planner that they have. I actually love it too. I use it not all the time, but I use it especially when I know I have just heavy days or weeks where I need to just be able to really plan out things to a T. And so then you have this, and you have a daily planner in here, and this is for the entire quarter. So yes, I love it. And what's really cool is you can incorporate those things that you planned out from your month and from just the quarter. You can put them right in here. So they have like this habits to tend, which I really like. For every single week, they have that in there. What matters most this week. And then you're pulling just straight from what you planned out in the power sheets earlier on. So this is just, it was cool that they came out with this. And then at the end of the month, you have a place to just kind of review, which they have in here that I love. They added that in here. And then it starts over for the next month. So I just wanted to share that with you all. It's very cool. I always love every product from them. I am an ambassador as well, so I just wanted to share it. Links will be down below if you are interested in grabbing yourself a Fresh Start daily goal planner, and then you can kind of have this similar process as I finish this out for the year. Okay, so let's get into the Q3 part of this. This is going to be my personal planning, and I'm going to be doing the power sheets. Okay, so this was my goals for the year. We have level up my faith, health is wealth, prioritize me, strong family dynamic, and financial freedom. And so a lot of these I'm still fully embracing and still want to do, but I want to rewrite them within this refresh for Q3. So definitely going to keep going with prioritizing me, but I'm going to put it under more under the bigger umbrella that's also going to include my health and wellness as well. So I'm going to put those together. Strong family dynamic has a huge, deeper meaning, which I'm not going to get into, but that's something I want to continue doing as well. And then I'll show you the other ones as I write them in, but just wanted to show you this is kind of what I started with for the year. And I'm going to fill in these goals. I do also love the little sticker books that they have too, because one of the things they have in here is these cute little page flags, and you can color coordinate them. I think I'm actually going to use gold this time though. I don't know why, I'm just really feeling the gold, and then I can add other colors, but I'm just going to add some gold. I think I have 4 or 5 goals that I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I think I have 4, because I've kind of consolidated it down a little bit to where 2 of them could be 1. But the first one is to prioritize me. I think this is just constantly something that I want to remember to do, because it is so easy for me to be put on the back burner, and I really just want to keep reminding myself of that. So okay, and then the next one is grow deeper with God. Okay, so I have this. So the other 2 was Embrace the Season and Strong Family Dynamics. So on the next page, they actually give you an area to where you can plan out what that actually looks like, you know, like how you're going to make it happen. Okay, so the first thing is just getting more in tune with myself, just overall. I really want to get back into therapy just to continue to prioritize just my overall wellness. So therapy. I really want to add in more exercise as well, so just more activity and eating better, because I have, like, since we've moved here, I've just started eating so bad. So I'm like, I really need to get back to where I was, because I was doing really well, really well, and just different things like that. So again, it's personal. I don't always like to share every piece and part, but this is just to give you guys an idea. And then another goal is getting deeper with God. So for this, I definitely just want to find a really good devotional. I had started a devotional about the fruit of the Spirit, and I can't find it. I don't know where it is. It's still packed up, so I'm hoping I can find it. But I want to be able to do a really good devotional, and I really want to just pick a book or 2 of the Bible to really dive into. So just really just diving into the Word more and understanding it, because that's something that I still need to do. Like, I've definitely started reading the Bible and then I've stopped. And so instead I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna find some books that I know could really resonate with me right now, and I think that'll be helpful for me. Find some good devotionals or a really good one to go through. The other one is to just embrace this season. And all that just basically means is really just making this place home and just giving the outcome to God. Because it's so easy to just question everything of like, well, what's going to happen with this? And I'm tired of it. So I'm just like, I'm going to just embrace everything for what it is and just really be grateful. Despite all of the many mix of emotions and things that I have, like, I'm still, at the end of the day, I'm grateful. And then the strong family dynamic. There's so many layers to this, but I really am just trying to just create an amazing experience for Emery. I just want her to, like, love her family. I want her to have amazing memories, things she can look forward to every week that we do. So one of the things I want to do is create a family calendar. Since now she's starting to, like, learn how to read and just kind of understanding more. So just like days and like how the months flow and everything. I really want to do that and make it really visual for her. So I want to create a family calendar. I also just want to come up with, this was something I got out of Maddie James' book that I have not actually embraced yet. It's like the family motto. So I really want to come up with that. Just some different, like, weekly family days. and just things like that. So I'll fill this in more in its entirety, but you guys have an idea. So this is what I'm planning on, just continuing to grow well in Q3 as time goes on. I really just want to see these things continue to get better and just continue pouring into these areas to just make them the best that they can possibly be, on top of so many other things. But these are like my 4 priority goals, and then everything else I feel like it will just fall into place. I'm just really giving it to God. I really am. Like, I'm truly trying to do that in this season and just really pour into the areas that I can control, you know, if that makes any sense. Okay, so of course this is July, so we're not going to get into that, but that is basically all of my personal stuff. Okay, we're back in the journal. I wanted to just read my Inspire acronym for Q3, so just my setup basically for Q3. So as far as intention, definitely want to travel more. I want to be more intentional with money. I feel like the last just quarter with moving and everything, I'm sure you can only imagine, it's just been a lot. So just getting back into just a solid budget and all of that, but definitely just being more intentional about trips and travel, because that's not something that we really did. And I really want to take advantage of that, and just the fact that we're closer to family. It could just even be trips to just go visit family. And then same with quality time. I really just want to make sure that I am spending time with those that I love, because I'm just constantly reminded of how short our time is here on earth. And I just want to make sure that everyone in my life knows just how much I really care about them. And so really being able to get that quality time, and it actually even being in person, because of the fact that we're a bit closer now, I just feel like it's going to happen. The nourish, I want to, and I kind of mentioned a little bit of this, I want to add in more exercise. So I really want to add in like another day of Pilates. Possibly I'm thinking about doing like one that I found on YouTube that's really good. So trying that out, maybe doing my 2 days that I go, and then doing a 3rd or even a 4th day of stuff at home, plus adding in a day of extra walking too. Right now I'm walking once a week. I'd love to be able to walk at least twice a week. So I'm going to try to incorporate that more. And then I want to also, for nourish, is to just work on my overall diet of like what I eat. I had got really good about really not having a lot of excess sugar, and just really taking care of myself and just trying to eat as good as I possibly can. And when we moved here, I got kind of excited. There was a lot of good food around, and just trying to get back, because I can feel it all of just like how it's affecting me, just how I feel. And I don't like it. Like a lot of what we eat is directly tied to how we feel. And so I don't want to be feeling all just down and groggy. And then it even plays a role in like how bad my cycle is too, because of how I eat. And so I'm like, let me just get back to being very intentional about how I nourish myself. See how I put those two together. Success, that is just basically success. When I think about if the quarter is over, what was success to me? And that is just having a fun summer. Also just really making new friends and just trying to connect with people, getting out of my comfort zone. Like that will just be a success to me. Peace to me is just continuing to be in the Word, really digging into the Word of God, and just going for more walks. Like there's nothing like a good walk. Like even though I'm not a big fan of the bugs that I be seeing along on the walk, like the overall like peace of it, and just being out and just being outside, that for me is just so good. Like I love my quiet time. I love my quiet time with God. I love my quiet time. Like, and it's so just any ways I can get that, I'm going to. Increase, definitely just to turn my business around. I haven't shared that much on here, but because of just everything going on with moving and stuff, it was really hard for me to put 100% into my business, and I'm aware of that. And because of that, it's suffered in a lot of ways, and I've been beating myself up about it, and I've been like, okay, do I go back to work? Like, what do I do? And so increase, I'm really just praying that God will turn everything around, and that I'll just get back motivated in the way that I was. I think this move just took a little bit more out of me than I expected, and it's just been a little bit harder to bounce back. But I do believe that God has increased, and that it's not like he only just does things one time. Like it wasn't like he only was just going to help me to get my business to a certain level one time. Like I know that he can do it again. So, and I know that he'll do it in a time of when I'm ready. So just that I have just like turning around my business. I really want to get into therapy and just really focus in on just tuning in with myself in general, because I know I've known this for a couple of years now about like, you know, how like our cycle can affect how we feel at different parts of the cycle, you know, whether you are like in the molecular, I mean, if you're in the follicular phase or the luteal phase, if you're familiar with, you know what I'm talking about. But I really want to lean into that. I was on a training with my business coach that she did, and just kind of reminded me again, like, yes, like cycle syncing, let's get back into that. And so just like being intentional about saying yes to things or no to things at certain times of my cycle when I can control it, or just being mindful of the fact that I'm going to be in this part of my cycle when this is happening, so that I'm not sitting here looking crazy like, well, why am I feeling this way? And it's like, well, girl, because, you know, this is what's going on. This is the part of the cycle you're in. So just tuning in with myself in that way and getting real with myself in that. And then also just prioritizing my wellness as well. I think that constantly, like, I've been in therapy before, but I feel like I need to get back in again, like, to just kind of work through this new season. I think it just is bringing up different things for me. So that's something I want to do as well. And then the last thing is enjoy. And it's just like having more days off that are scheduled, because I do work a lot. And so I'm just trying to, especially even in this last month, I've been like, okay, I got to make up for all of the lost time, you know, and it's like, it can just be a lot. So just really having some days off, give myself that grace, really tuning into, you know, what part of my cycle I'm in. And then just really enjoying and focusing on the now, like focusing on the things that are going good now, despite what I'm hoping for, wishing for, waiting for, whatever, you know, that looks like, but just enjoying the now, really focusing on the moments and the good things that are happening, because that truly does bring me joy when I'm able to do that. Just, you know, the practicing gratitude, right? Just in general, and just really thanking God for the place that he has me in. So that is what my Q3 setup is looking like as far as my goals. That is what it's looking like as far as my Inspire acronym. That is my Inspire quarter that I'm planning to have. And so now we are going to get into some business plans, y'all, and then we will wrap this vlog up. All right, so we're gonna get into the business planning. So I do a combination of my business planner, and then I also use my quarterly wall planning system. If you are a user of this, then you will be familiar with these sheets, but I actually just printed them out for the PDF file that comes with it. And so the ones that I printed out are these project and goal planning pages, this little quarterly little hexagon thing, and then also the brain dump page, so I can kind of think through what it is that I actually want to put up on the wall first, and I'll add dates and all that stuff. In my planner, I like to just come in here and write down some wins and things. So I wanted to write in here specifically that I launched the membership, because that is just really exciting. So I'm going to write that here. I'm always trying to just reflect on the things that have just been really good, that I've enjoyed, things I'm proud of. And so that is definitely one for sure that I wanted to do. And then also I just want to root myself on too, because I've just been like super consistent. So even though I'm in a transitional phase, like I've been really consistent with my content, and so I want to root that on. I'm excited about that. So that's what I'm doing for now, and then I'll actually go in and write my plans and stuff in here when I'm actually in that month and those weeks, but I like to just do that. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is just do a brain dump of just ideas and things that I have for my business. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. I've been really enjoying writing in pencil lately, which I used to hate. I know, it's like after I got out of school, I was like, I'm not writing in pencil no more. And like now I've just been loving writing in pencil. I don't know what it is, but yes, I'm gonna go ahead and write out my brain dump really quickly. So overall, I really don't want to do more than like 3 things as far as just like the big overarching goals. But a lot of this stuff is still something that I can be regularly doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is just highlight, and maybe just for the sake of this so you guys can see what I'm doing. The first thing I'm going to do is just create like a little bit of a color key. So anything in this color is more so like a routine or a habit, I guess you could say, that I want to start for my business. It's not necessarily a big goal, but it's just something that I know that I need to do. And then things that I really see as a large project or something that could take up either the entire quarter or more than several weeks. So we'll just do large projects. And I'm writing so sloppy, I apologize. And then the last one, let's see what other color, new color, I'm going to do is this one. And then this is just, oh, that's actually kind of dark. Let's not do that one. I'm going to do this color. Okay, and that is going to, well, actually, I can put a little dot. So for this one, I'm going to maybe say not yet, just meaning I might actually hold off and wait on it until Q4 or even later. And then for this one, I'm thinking, let's see, what would be something else? We have routine and habit, project ideas, things that I want to wait on. And then the last one I'm going to do is just kind of just something that's just like a regular to-do. It's not necessarily anything that requires like a whole lot of milestones or projects, literally like, girl, just do the thing. So off rip, I already know one of that is just setting up my business entity. You know, obviously I moved, so just getting reestablished and all of those things in a new state is definitely one of those things. Another one that is just basically a to-do is all of the Q3 stuff for the membership. And I think that it's important for that because I have a lot of things that I do. Even though Q3 is planned out, I already know what I'm doing trainings on. I already know what we're going to be doing. I always still get ideas of stuff to do. So I have just like some fun content that I want to create throughout the quarter, as well as I still need to do my slides and like my overall premise for my trainings. Usually when I write the trainings out, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about, but they don't usually come together until we get a little bit closer. So that's just how it is. So those are some things, as well as another to do is the planner restock. I just need to simply do that and get them ordered. Cutting expenses, that's another one as well. So the next thing is large projects. I definitely think a large project on here for sure is Q4 membership, because I have to figure out a lot of the details and stuff for that. So I'm gonna do that one as one. Another big project I would say is, this kind of gets roped in together. It's this retire some offers and refine some offers. Just overall, I need to just take a look at my offers that I have for more so like the business coaching side of things. I want to just kind of say bye to some stuff. I want to just make some things better. Just overall look at all of the different services and things I offer and just see really and ask myself, like, you know, what am I enjoying right now? What do I think I can get rid of? I think that would be helpful for me. So there may be some sales coming up on some courses and stuff. We'll see. I just really want to clean house and kind of just start fresh and do some things that I'm enjoying and stuff that's really working. So that's going to be something, I feel like that's going to be a project that will turn into a bit more. And I feel like that will tie into the update of my website in some ways. So maybe I need to come up with a better name for this overall. But yeah, I think that's definitely a big project in itself. Another big project is the fall collection. I definitely think that I want that to be good. The new planners, just new products and things, that's going to be a big one. Ooh, and then a routine on here. So grants, just applying for grants. I just want that to become something I regularly do, 2 to 3 shorts per week. That's part of routine and content creation. Let's see what else. Business events near me, just searching for them and figuring out if I'm going to go. That's definitely a routine that I can get into. More speaking. I want to be a speaker, y'all. Like I've said this before, like I want to be a speaker. If you have an event that you need somebody to come and encourage, please reach out to your girl. Like I truly know that that is what I'm supposed to be doing, and so I want to do it more. I don't really know what that fits into. It's not really a routine or a habit. It's not really a large project, but it is something important to me. So I don't even know really what that is, so I'm not going to color it in. Brand deals, I think that's also a routine or habit. It's just a matter of getting into like pitching and stuff. Pinterest, same thing. I fell off with moving and stuff, so I want to get back into posting on the Pinterest again. The 30K on YouTube, I'm not sure if that's going to happen by the end of this quarter, but I do feel like it can happen by the end of the year. So I just wrote that on here just as kind of like a reminder to myself. I just really would love to accomplish that goal for this year. And I think I can do it just with being consistent like I've been, but just really leveling it up a little bit more now that I can kind of turn my focus back to my business somewhat more. And then hitting 70 members in the membership would just be really, really cool. So these are more like goals. I don't know. They're just on here because they came to my mind. And then the podcast, I want that to come back. I feel like that is a project because there's a lot involved with the podcast. I want to have co-hosts on and different things. So I think I'm going to make that a project because my plan is for it to come back in Q4, but I feel like a lot of planning and prep will need to go into Q3 in order to make that happen. So this is kind of what's looking like. It was supposed to come back a lot sooner, but life, again, I had to take some things off my plate in order to not go crazy. So this is what we're looking at. I think this is good. And so now what I'm going to do is just take some time to fill these out, and then I will take the stuff to the wall. Okay, mom life. Emery was in here hanging out while I was just doing that last stuff of like filling this in. And then she got upset because I needed to record this last clip. But that is okay because we want to get this done. So if you're familiar with my quarterly wall planning system, you already know it's specifically for businesses right now, even though there will be a new one coming out soon that will be really for anyone, not just for business. So stay tuned for that. But if you get this, the way that it comes, everything is a digital file that you download. You get these big posters, and then you also get the version of it that's just on a letter size page as well. So if you're not able to get it printed out in the larger size at like a Staples or Office Max or something, you'll still have the option to do this. So this is like a poster that I actually got printed at Office Max and laminated. So I'm able to use it over and over again as a dry erase surface, which is really nice. So I will finally be able to really use this with some of the launches I have coming up. You all saw that I wrote out some of the different goals that I have. So the podcast season 2 is a big goal. So I wrote that over here on this section, amongst other things. So we have the fall collection, we have the podcast, Q4 membership stuff, and then just refreshing my biz. That's what I decided to call that whole thing of like revamping offers, retiring some offers, update my website. All of that kind of fit in with just refresh the biz. So that's what I decided to call it. But along with the thing, you get these sheets that you can print out. And so I filled these sheets out and just put my ideas. I don't know specifically what my milestones and my tasks and stuff are just yet because these are still new goals. I literally just set these as I was sitting down. And so I like to take some time to really think through everything, make sure it is something I do want to do in the quarter, and then decide what the tasks are going to look like. And I like to do tasks and milestones because it gives me something to work towards. This is a lot of times what can happen when you have just a big goal and you're just so focused on the big goal, and then you miss all the little details in between that get you there. And those milestones are things to celebrate. So on here, I have basically 5 different milestones, and then there's also 5 dots on here. So as I accomplish my milestones, I can also do it on here as well. And so my plan is basically just to kind of keep these sheets around in this area. I still have not fully set up my office yet, so I'm not sure exactly what my whole feel is in here yet. Everything is a bit different from how it used to be. But I want to keep these sheets and just everything around so that I'm aware of what's going to be happening and I can refer back to stuff and just kind of overall come up with something. Another idea that came up while I was doing this page that I didn't even talk about because I think it was in a time lapse, but I wrote out all of the different things coming up for each of those months within the quarter. And then for some of those like routine habit things, I decided to just come up with a themed day for my business. It might only happen maybe like every other week, every 3 weeks or something like that, but it's just a day to work on pitching brands, applying for grants, and then also finding any local events and things that I can like drive to, participate in, speak at, different things like that. So that's kind of what I decided to do, just kind of call it like a business growth day where I just do a lot of different things, put myself out there. And so I'm going to try to put that on my calendar as an actual day. And then I'll know that this specific day, again, every 3 weeks, I don't know how often I'm going to do it. I will actually sit down and kind of have a plan. And then usually what I do for stuff like that is in ClickUp, I'll have a specific list that's just for like the themed day. And then I just write all of my to-dos that I want to get done for that day. So like if I have specific brands I want to pitch, or if I have different things I want to look into, I'll put it on there. I'll pull that list up on that day, check them all off. And then anything that I don't finish, it'll get carried over till the next time, because I'll create like a recurring event basically. And then just update it if there's other things I want to do. So that's how I do it. And so the way that that works with the theme day is just to literally touch on it briefly. It helps me so then that way if I'm not able to get to something in this moment, I know eventually a day will come up where I can do it. And so then I have a place that I can kind of put it in. I didn't talk about ClickUp too much in this particular vlog because there's like a whole nother set of things that comes along with that. So I can always do that in a separate video if you want to just see how my ClickUp is set up, how I use it. It's the project management system that I use to run pretty much both sides of my business, my content, just specific to-dos. I even use it for some personal things. So I will be happy to show you all how I have mine set up if you want to see how I just kind of get digital with all of my planning as well. And then I use my planner. So I really have a little bit of everything, because sometimes I'll be feeling the paper planning. Sometimes I feel ClickUp, but ClickUp is definitely a constant that I'm always making sure, especially with those theme days, that I have those tasks in there so I know what I'm doing, if nothing else. And it's also just great for keeping up with like client work and different things. So this was really fun. I'm glad that I finally got this done. So from here, this is going to be a place where I'm just going to constantly be updating. Once I have dates solidified, I will be writing them in. If I have a launch happening, I'll have like the little line and the arrows. Other than that, I think this is pretty much it. This is Q3. I'm very excited for it. Again, I'm just hoping that it just feels good. It just feels free and just peaceful, and I just want to go with the flow of everything. I don't want it to be stressful. I really want to embrace this new season of living here. It's our first summer here, and just want to just make good memories, but also just really get back to the things that I've been kind of putting off, aka my business, you know, kind of getting back into that, and then just continuing to pour into myself through it all. So it sounds like a lot, you know, but I'm excited because even with all of these things, it's still not a super ramp up thing, because a lot of the stuff is going to be taking place towards the end of the quarter. So it kind of gives me a chance to just gradually kind of creep into what's going to be happening, because I know Q4 is going to be crazy. So I really like to just start prepping for Q4 now and doing some of the things in this quarter. And even some, if I would have been a little more prepared last quarter, I would have done some things. So then that way when Q4 comes, holiday time, all of the stuff, I will have some things already in place and kind of know what I need to do next, but have a lot of those bigger tasks out of the way. One of them being my fall launch, because my fall launch is really going to be taking place at the very end of September, I believe. Maybe early September, we'll see. Once I really sit down and I like to give myself a couple of days to think about what I wrote down. So when I revisit this in a few days, I'll see. But I think that's probably what's going to be end up happening, like early to mid-September. And then I'm thinking the podcast is going to come back early October, now that I'm even just talking this through. So we'll see. All right, so that is it. Happy Q3 to you, and I hope you have the best quarter 3. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.